Welcome to you all, especially the TET aspirants. This course, TET concept is in-depth but in nutshell. This is prepared in the form of key points and bullet points. First of all, I request you, after this intro is over, pause it and go to the link which is given in the description and assess yourself in the form of CBT type CBT model. You can get your score with offhand. Then come into the course, go through the class and get the subject. After this course is over, you will be given a PDF material also. Get answers and my specialty is I will give you one session, that is get the answer. Answer is one and pose number of questions, but you should not skip from your answer. That is my request. Get answers and pose questions and accumulate the subject day by day, every day. At the end, you can get the deepest and fullest subject at last. And finally, again, go to the link which is given in the description and check in the link yourself. I declare that you will get improvement from this course. Definitely. That's all. Thank you. Now get into the course directly. Hi, this is Veeraganta Rao, AP TET English Methodology. Chapter 1 is Approaches for Teaching English Language. This is the latest AP TET syllabus by me, and this is a premium one. I took very keen interest on preparing this module. First step is self-assessment in RAPO, that is by you. Second step is explanation by that your answer. And third one is this is the material which I am ready to give you as your study material. And then there will be another self-assessment for your review. And finally, there is a confidence that you got. Okay. Then why should we learn this? This is the frequently asked question. Answer is this is easy for scoring and this is applicable for classroom uses and it can also be useful in interviews and it has the weightage of 3 to 5 minutes in your TET syllabus. So the question frequently that is asked is why should we learn this is known something to you, I think. Okay, there are the steps are very useful to you and based on those steps you can build your confidence levels. So this is why should we learn about this. Learning outcomes of this course is define an approach. What is an approach? And difference between approach and method. This is always confused one. And another important one is identify the major approaches, types of approaches, various types of approaches. And important thing is how to apply these approaches in our day-to-day classroom situation. These are the learning outcomes after finishing this module. This enables you to build and to get 3 to 5 marks in this module. So right now we should think what is an approach, right? Approach is a philosophy. It is nothing but the beliefs regarding the philosophy, the theory about the philosophy. Okay, it is a language learning spontaneously, and language teaching can be achieved through this language learning. So do you know what is an approach right now? It is the beliefs based on this philosophy, and it is a theory about approaches. Okay, and then we go to the next one. This is the characteristics of approach. The characteristics of this approach is five. The first one is it is a broad concept. Approach is a broad concept. The theory is based on this broad concept, and it gives us direction in which we have to go or arrive at a goal, and it lays a very good foundation for methods. So the teacher believes in the system. Now coming to differentiate between approach, method and technique. Approach is nothing but philosophy, method is a plan, whereas techniques it utilizes in the classroom practice. So this is about approach, method and technique. Activity is going on in the form of implementation. So there happens hierarchy of teaching. So we should keen on what is an approach and what is a method and what is technique. The major approaches are in teaching of English are grammar translation approach, direct method approach, structural approach, reading approach, bilingual method, audio lingual, natural approach, communicative approach, and finally eclectic approach, amalgamation of all this which is suitable. Now let's start. The first one is grammar translation approach. Here the focus is mainly keeps on grammar translation, grammar rules, and translation is there. Two skills are covered, those are reading and writing. This is basically teacher centered one. Mother tongue usage is used to some extent. This is about grammar translation approach. Next comes direct method. Direct method. English through English is allowed. No mother tongue usage is there. Two skills are primarily used, listening and speaking first. Uses of realia, pictures and gestures. Learner participation is very less in this. This is about direct method. Next comes structural approach. This is basically sentence patterns and structures. There is a book about this by Hornby. This practice is a controlled one. Basically, a lot of drill work is there. This is mainly based on simple to complex journey. This is nothing but a habit formation. Structural approach is a suitable one for developing structures through this approach. Types of approaches. First one is reading approach. This approach is developed by Michael Watt. Reading is the primary skill in this approach. Silent reading is going on. In this approach, vocabulary can be developed through reading. This is very suitable for the beginners. This approach is very suitable, especially for the beginners. So, the approach developed by Michael Watts is reading approach. Next comes to bilingual method. The developer is C.J. Dodson. Limited mother tongue is allowed in this approach. Though English remains the main medium, it saves time, classroom time. It builds confidence in the student. Bilingual method can be suggestible for the beginners. So the mother tongue influence is less in this bilingual method as English remains the main medium as a goal in bilingual method. Next one is audiolingual method. It is based on the behaviorism of individual students. This is basically a habit formation. Repetition is going on, drilling is going on. Repetition and drilling plays a key main role in audiolingual method. Dialogue practice is going on. It is very useful in audiolingual method. Out of 4 skills, listening, speaking, lays emphasis. Next one is natural approach. It is natural acquisition of language. It is a big comprehensible input for the students. The students get low anxiety in this natural approach. Meaning before grammar can be known to the student. Real communications happens through natural approach. Natural approach is nothing but real-time communication. Communicative approach. This is an important approach among all. This is a real-time communication, real-life communication. Fluency is there over accuracy. Pair work has been done, group work has been done in this creative approach. This is a learner-centered one. Electrical approach. This is a combination of best methods. The learner needs first its flexible teaching. Teacher chooses suitable techniques in electrical approach. Modern classroom approach. This is a recent classroom approach. Combination of the best methods. So this is an electric approach. Next one comes comparative major approaches. When compared to the measuring approaches, there is grammar translation method approach, direct approach, structural approach, reading approach, bilingual approach, audiolingual approach, natural approach, communicative approach, finally the electrical approach. These major approaches have been completed and comparison can be done by analyzing one by one. Here in this chapter, there is a scope for getting more clarity by comparison of these approaches. Approaches versus methodology versus technique. Approach is nothing but a philosophy, method is nothing but a plan, and technique is it is a classroom practice. You have to get more clarity on this approach versus method versus technique. Activity can be implemented. It can be an implementation. Approach is broad. The student has to differentiate between approach, method, and technique. Simply keeping in mind, approach is philosophy, method is plan. Okay. AP TET most expected questions are developers of methods, mother tongue usage and its influence, primary objectives of this methodology, learner versus teacher centered, key features of this TET English methodology. This can be kept in mind for getting more clarity in TET English methodology. It is related to both the learner and the teacher. It is learner centered. At the same time, it is teacher centered. The key point has to be bear in mind. Next one is mind mapping and 1 minute revision. This is GTM. GTM means grammar translation method. This is direct method. No mother tongue can be allowed. Structural approach. Structural is patterns, sentence patterns and structures of RB can be useful for this. And communicative. Communicative means it is real life communicative in real life and dialectic combination of both. This can be done as a mind map and 1 minute revision for the better restoration of the material, the TET English methodology. Next comes to classroom applications of approaches. Choose an approach that is based on the objective and consider the learner's age. Use activities according to the approach. Integrate LSRWs, listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Evaluate the learning when it has been completed. Classroom applications of approach gives the teacher a tool in the hand of a teacher. So, choosing approach based on the objective, consider learner's age, use activities are all these combined together. Approaches and LSRW skills. Listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Considering all these four, best approach for each skill. Every skill should be eached in approach. Listening skill can be used in this approach. Skill of speaking can be used. The skill of reading can be used. And finally, the writing skill can be used in approach. This is feasible approach. Then advantages and the limitations of this approach. There are some advantages and also some limitations. Advantages are strengths of each approach, and limitations are there: when to use, when to avoid, and there can be balanced. Balance should be brought between the strengths and the limitations of these approaches. Balancing of approaches should be done in teaching of approaches, and it can be the best approaches forever than anyone. Then common epitest mistakes are sometimes we are confusing what is a method and what is an approach. And Confusion may arise in mixing direct approach and communicative approach. Sometimes forgetting developers, sometimes ignoring the main keywords, learners without examples. These are the common AP TET mistakes which occur in AP TET test. These could be avoided by making a specific idea on this study material and restoring the material each and every point as a mind map in the minds of the student, and collecting and recollecting can be done. Next comes rapid revision table. This is a table. This is an outlook of all this information. What is GTM? GTM is nothing but grammar translation method, GTM. Direct method is nothing but English only, using English only. Structural method is sentence patterns and structures. And communicative is a real-time communication English. Electrical is not that of a current. It is a combination of suitable approaches for the student as well as the teacher in real-time approaches of teaching of English. This can be used as a rapid revision table in AP TET English methodology. Now we comes to mini quiz on the entire subject, that too chapter wise wrap up. What are those? Quite quick oral questions, self checkup, ready for CBT test. CBT test I am going to give you in two spells, that is in the first spell and the last spell, that can be evaluated by the computer. And I am also giving the key takeaway notes. Next, chapter wise pre review, that can be mind mapped, and a quick mind mapping of the altogether subject of these teaching approaches. Now we shall find out the previous epithet trends. What are the trends of epithet? And frequently tested approaches. This occurs in the previous epithet. The developers of TET approaches, the objectives of the approach, the mother tongue influence or the mother tongue usage on approaches, and important thing is comparison based questions which occurs in TET of AP. These are the new trends. Then comes to exam day memory tricks. We have to look out GTM, grammar translation, DM, no mother tongue is used, direct method, direct approach, SA, structural patterns, CA, real time communication, EA, best combination. So the tricks are GTM, DM, SA, CA, and EA. Take consider as like abbreviations of these important keynotes. Final mind map. Approaches at the center. What approaches should be used at the center? Branches for each approach. Developers of particular approach and features of every approach, and most important thing is the objectives of each and every approach. These are the final mind map that can be observed when coming to the test or facing the test. If final mind map is in the mind, it is very useful. Now comes to the final mind map again. Approaches at the center, branches for each approach, developers of each and every approach, features of every approach, characteristics of every approach, and it is not a subjective, objectives of each and every approaches. If we have mind map, that is last final mind map in our mind. And chapter wise summary. First of all, the definition of each and every approach, and major approaches in types of approaches. Some are major approaches, and key differences between confused approaches. We have to differentiate those confusing approaches and the applications of each and every approaches. And finally, exams tips to be taken in the mind as a mind map at a glance. This has been given as a chapter-wise summary for the benefits of TET aspirants. Next, thank you. And next chapter, I'm going to give you congratulations for receiving my subject, and I offer you attempt CBT test 2 after giving this subject both orally and in the form of PDF. I will give you definitely a gift, that is CBT test 2, to find out what is your score, and I will definitely give you the downloads of all these notes. Next, I will go to the methods of teaching English and keep learning, going on learning.